Welcome to the Vale, where the paranormal is our playground. We are the Phantom Pals, Nick and Leah. Now, superstitions, we've all heard of them, and many of us follow them, either daily, weekly, monthly, or annually. Sometimes you follow a superstition when you see a black cat, before the big game, or before going on stage. So today, Leah and I are going to discuss superstitions. Why do we have superstitions? What common ones do we know of? Some weird ones we learned about. Also, ones we follow, and we'll review some interesting ones from different parts of the world. So,
So we should probably start with what is a superstition? Like, let's get into a definition. So, a superstition, by definition, is a belief or practice considered by non practitioners to be irrational or supernatural, attributed to fate or magic, perceived supernatural influence, or fear of which is unknown. Right. So, if we talk about like just your normal everyday life, you're probably doing some sort of superstition without even knowing you're doing it or realizing it. Think of knocking on wood, or holding your breath when you pass a graveyard, or avoiding a black cat, walking underneath a ladder, or avoiding walking underneath a ladder, or even reading a daily horoscope.
Mhm.
So these are like examples of what we do on a daily basis without realizing that we're necessarily participating in some sort of superstition that we have. So I'll be talking a lot about Dr. Stuart Weiss. He's a PhD and the author
Hmm.
of Believing in Magic, the Psychology of Superstition. And he calls what superstition is magical thinking.
Okay.
So if you were to say magical thinking, like first thing I would think is you're thinking of magic. You're like a witchcraft type magical
Okay, like a
thinking.
cauldron.
Yeah. Yeah. Or like you bought the numbers for the lottery
Okay.
and you're magically thinking that you're going to win and you're
Okay.
already deciding how you're going to spend the money.
Okay.
To me, that's what magical thinking is. But to Dr. Weiss, it's really believing in the psychology of superstition. So, Dr. Weiss says that the driving force behind the idea of a superstition is our need or want for control or certainty. So, we're all placed in situations, right, where you try to be prepared for. So, if you're thinking about a big job interview, the big game that maybe you've been practicing
Mm-hmm.
for, something really important to you.
So I
Maybe
got a
a
question with the big game. Would this
oh
also
geez,
consider like when you go to see your favorite sports team and you have a tailgate tradition, and if you don't
right,
follow that,
right,
you consider that bad luck?
right. That would be superstition.
Okay.
You know, something like that, or like for
Lucky
the
underwear?
true. For the longest time, I would wear my Bears jersey for Chicago Bear games because I'm a Bears fan. Might have lost a few listeners now, but
Hmm.
for those who stayed, welcome. But then I realized that they kept losing every time I would wear
Okay.
the jersey, so I stopped wearing the jersey.
Do you want help losing some? I'm a Broncos fan, so we might have lost a few more.
Okay.
if
Same
you can,
colors.
if you can overlook these facts, then thank you for sticking around.
Right. So if you're doing something that's important to you before you, for a big event that you prepared for, it's following a superstition. But no matter how prepared or confident you are, things can still happen that are completely out of your control, such as you're preparing for a big wedding and something could happen no matter what you've planned. Something could happen out of your control.
Okay.
I don't know about you, but I've been a part of maybe two weddings because I was married twice. So no judgment. All right, leave me alone. So in my first wedding, what was completely out of my control that I noticed happened was we were at the point of the ceremony where you're supposed to like light the unity candle together. And so we did that. And when we turned around to walk away from it, it went out. So
Is
just
that that's probably a bad omen, I think.
It's, well, it didn't turn out well, so I guess so. Do you have anything that like went beyond your control of something big that you were planning?
Not that I can think of.
Nothing crazy happened on stage or off stage during a performance, not planned.
Um, Other than people dropping lines, I mean, you know,
That happens.
that happens. You depend on somebody to hold up their end, and each performance is a little different. So yeah,
Okay.
but
But having a superstition, it provides you with that
mm,
sense of control.
like, well, I mean, when I did Rocky Horror, the one who was the narrator had to back out, and I had to fill in last minute.
Okay.
Like last minute's like a week in advance. I had about a week to learn the part
Nice.
after learning a different part.
So again, like superstitions will provide you with the sense that there is one thing that will get you to the outcome you're hoping for. Like it gives you that sense of control. So there's the positive and negative placebo effect with superstitions. So the positive placebo effect, it means that if something's going to help you, it may do that. As Dr.
Hmm.
Weiss says, he's quoted, there can be real I'm sorry, let's requote that. Let's rewind. Here we go.
Hmm.
So we're going to quote Dr. Weiss, and Dr. Weiss says, in quotes, there can be a real psychological effect of superstitious thoughts. So what does that mean? If you have done something well, then you believe that whatever you did at that moment will continue to go well. So, like I said, I wear my Bears jersey during Bears games. I realize they kept losing. The day that I decided not to wear it, they won that game.
Hmm.
So, my positive placebo effect is I have a belief that if I wear my jersey, they will win.
Okay.
All right.
But if a negative happens, you believe that when you wear it, you're jinxing them.
Right. So, think about times that you go on stage, right before you go on stage. Do you
Okay.
have like a certain saying that you have to say before you go on stage for good luck?
No.
Or
I
something that
mean,
you shouldn't say?
there's things you shouldn't say, like you shouldn't say good luck.
Right,
You say
right,
break a leg. You
right,
say the opposite. If you do say something to somebody.
right. Um, the only way that this hinders the performance, if you're doing something big and you have done something that you feel is going to give you good luck, the way to hinder it is what if you wear a lucky shirt for a certain baseball game and that lucky
Okay.
shirt that day got torn?
Ah.
So your mind automatically goes to the idea that now it's going to be a bad game because you just ruined your luck because you
Okay.
tore your shirt.
All right.
So that's like the positive placebo effect is that side.
Okay.
So the negative role in your life for the placebo effect is living in such a way that you're altering your life, your schedule based on your superstition.
Hmm.
So number 13 has a pretty big one.
Yes.
So people believe that the number 13 is bad luck. It's one thing to have that belief and maybe play like a little celebratory game on Friday the 13th.
Mm-hmm.
But kind of another thing when you have this such a strong desire that it's going to bring you bad luck that you plan your day around the number 13,
Okay.
such as you avoid travel on the 13th. You won't do appointments on the 13th of the month.
What if it falls during the week that you're supposed to, on a day you're supposed to work? Would you skip work?
If some people believe that it's going to be that bad of luck, then they would miss work.
Okay.
But that's the negative side of things because now you've let this belief run your life
Hmm.
and could have consequences to that, like missing the 13th of every month. Like, how many sick days can you get?
Right.
Um, there has been documented cases where people won't even leave their house on the day of the 13th.
Hmm.
So it goes a little far, and
That is a little far.
that is where
That
the
is.
superstition has that negative placebo effect.
Okay.
It also brings kind of like that unnecessary anxiety and offers zero benefit to your life whatsoever to have that belief.
Okay.
And truth be told, wouldn't it be weird if like you had this belief and it like alters your whole life and you wouldn't do anything on the 13th? then you finally say seek some help and kind of learn how to cope with that number and start living your life.
Yeah.
And then it happens to be the 13th and you decided to go out that day and something happens.
I don't think you would trust at that point.
I'm just saying, coincidentally, it happened on the 13th.
Coincidentally, that would kind of be crazy.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so Dr. Weiss says that our locus of control, which is the common phrase in psychology world for those who aren't like psychology nerds like myself, can be a contributing factor to whether or not we're superstitious. So if you have an internal locus of control, there's two locus of control, there's internal, external. So if you have an internal locus of control, you believe that you're in charge of everything. You're the master of your own fate.
Okay.
All right. Almost like a free will. You have the choice to do X or Y, and you are the one that's going to decide the outcome of your life. If you have external locus of control, you're sort of buffed by life. Things happen to you instead of the other way around.
Okay.
So like the universe is against you or for you. Things happen only to you, and you had no control over it. It just kind of keeps happening. People with the external locus of control are actually more likely to be superstitious because they feel like there's another power that has over their lives. So part of the reason, you hush your mouth over there, man.
Okay, I'm just taking this in.
So women are typically more superstitious than men. And that's because in today's modern society, subconsciously, they believe that they have less control over their fate than men do. Is that true for every woman? No. I'm just saying, in the generalized world, it's very possible that women have this underlining subconscious thought that they have less control of their lives than men do.
Okay.
And they're typically more superstitious than men are. This is all according to Dr. Weiss, but I can see how that's possible.
Okay, all right. I'll play.
You're struggling here.
I will play devil's advocate on that.
Okay.
I
see your wheels turning. I feel like you're struggling with this thought.
Is it a confidence thing?
Could it be? It could be. I mean, we can test it here. Are you superstitious?
50-50.
Okay.
I think we do have control over things, but I also don't test the waters either. And if something seems to do something, then yeah, it kind of makes you feel better about it or hinders you from doing things.
Yeah. I would say I'm more superstitious than you probably. So
I would agree.
Technically, his theory, at least with just the two of us, is accurate.
I would agree that you're more superstitious.
Yeah, a little bit. But it doesn't have anything to do with your intelligence.
Okay.
I would say I'm the intelligent one. I'm kidding.
Oh, ouch. All right. So we're going to go there.
We went there.
Okay. See how it is.
But intelligence has very little to do with whether or not we subscribe to superstitions.
Okay.
So I'm the intelligent one, but it has nothing to do with the fact that I'm superstitious.
Do you have some humble pie? I don't. I'm just a thought. I don't know.
So, most superstitions help people engage, are perfectly fine, and are not pathological.
Okay.
Says Dr. Weiss.
Okay. No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Very good.
So you're saying it's not unhealthy?
No.
Oh, okay.
Not unhealthy as long as you're not taking it to...
So in simple terms, not unhealthy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for the simple-minded folk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The non-intelligent.
All right. All right. So with that, we kind of want to go over like some of our own superstitions. Um. So, since I'm already just sitting here chatting away, I'll start with like just a couple of my superstitions, and
Okay.
I'll just narrow it down to like this little list because mine go pretty long. So I am in the habit of knocking on wood. Do it
Okay.
pretty often. Um, I find myself always looking for a piece of wood when I say something that hasn't happened to me like yet.
Okay.
Um, Up until March of this year, I've never broken a bone. Um, but anytime I said that, I would like find a piece of wood to knock on because I knew it was coming, and one day it did. And we won't go into the story and how it happened. We're just
Did
gonna.
was there a bone to knock, or was there? I mean, a piece of wood to knock on when that happened?
We won't discuss how that happened.
I think we should.
I think Leo was just not being very intelligent that day.
I I think it's a pretty funny story,
No,
to
we're
be
not gonna.
honest.
We're
Yeah.
not gonna discuss that
Yeah.
story,
Yeah. But how did it happen?
sir.
I mean, I.
I just thought that I could hold
What?
about 180 pounds of dead weight with one hand.
What was this dead weight?
Um, Somebody.
Okay.
I thought I could hold a person with one hand, and when it didn't happen and the person fell, I happened to fall on top of them.
What kind of person was it? Were they
Um,
were they with us at the time, or were?
no,
Oh, so dead weight.
yeah,
Dead weight.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So they had passed on, and I was making sure to take care of them
Okay.
appropriately, and that was not the best way of doing things. My intelligence slipped for a moment, and I went tumbling and might have fractured my ankle. Just happens, right?
Mhm.
I mean, that's a good way to fracture your
Trying to
ankle.
hold up a dead body and fracturing your ankle is not a normal way to fracture your ankle, dear.
Shush.
Just saying.
We'll move on to another superstition. So another
Okay.
superstition I have. Such a dork.
Just
Um, well, we're gonna be passing New Year's, and what I do every year on New Year's is I'll open the front door, and that lets in the promises and good vibes of the new year, while I open the back door to let the old energy and vibes of the last year release back into the universe.
so like a cleanse.
Right,
Okay.
right.
Like a cleanse.
Um, there's also like the belief of the New Year's kiss. I believe that a kiss is shared to ensure a happy and loving beginning to a new year.
Okay.
So it's just you're spending that first minute with whomever and you give them a kiss. I kissed like 10 people that day. Not in that way. I'll kiss my kids, my pets.
Oh.
I'm just saying Happy New Year's to
You know,
all those that are in my life at
and,
that moment.
and you make fun of me for the conversations I have with the cat and the team cat.
Okay,
And
so we have a new team cat. We forgot to introduce her on the first one, but the new team cat is Priscilla,
mhm.
and he talks to Priscilla
What are you
like
talking about? Like
full
she
on
can.
conversation talks.
Who else would I talk to?
Well, your daughter, me.
Priscilla listens. She turns her head like she hears me.
It's I think it's one thing if you talk to your pet, and a whole nother thing when you're holding on like full on conversations, expecting that your pet A understands and B will respond.
A, she does understand, and B, B, she does respond by going meow.
By going what? How did that go again?
Meow.
Meow.
Right meow. That's usually
So,
what she's telling me when her food dish is empty. Fill it right meow.
and how do you know she understands? I'm just wondering.
I just assume she understands.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're assuming.
It's a form of therapy, I tell you.
Okay.
Okay. So
So as we're gonna sit here and make fun of Nick for a while for talking to his cat, having therapy with his cat, Nick, tell me some of your superstitions. Go ahead.
Other than talking to my cat and thinking she understands, when she does, by the way, yes, she does. Yeah.
Intelligent mind here.
Okay. So, well, I did have some. Uh, First one was when I was young, I would hold my breath going past the cemetery. Never knew the reason for it. I just was, it seemed like um, the thing to do. Well, it turns out there's a reason behind this. Now, some cultures thought breathing near a cemetery would allow spirits to enter your body. This could have started from the ancient taboos um, of inhaling air from a place that is considered to be filled with death and decay. I don't know what you think on that.
Is the air really filled with the death and decay, though? That's more like the earth.
But, and how far back those go, when bad things happen to people, people had to explain why.
Okay.
So that was their way to explain away maybe why somebody died young or certain professions.
They didn't hold their breath passing a cemetery?
No, like that there's death there, so they were inviting death into their life.
Okay. Okay.
Now, with my Irish heritage, I'm
Lucky Charms.
kind of yes, yes. Now, the four-leaf clover represents luck, right? Well, the reason for this is the four-leaf clover. The ideas are presented as hope, faith, love, and the fourth leaf is luck, and they're very rare. So it's considered good luck to find one, and so I guess if I were to have found one, I'd probably be going to buy a lottery ticket and counting my winnings already.
On the 13th or avoiding the 13th?
I don't know. I don't know which one. But the three-leaf clover does have a significance as well. It was used for protection against evil spirits and was carried by Celtic priests in ancient Ireland. The three leaves of a clover are said to represent faith, hope, and love. The interpretation comes from St. Patrick, who used the three-leaf clover to teach the Holy Trinity in Christianity. In ancient times, Druids, who were religious leaders in cultic cultures, believed the three-leaf clover also had mystical powers. They considered it to be a sacred plant that could ward off evil spirits and offer protection.
Which I believe I've seen that in different like spell books and rituals that were done at the three-leaf clovers in there pretty often.
The next one would be when you were walking to school. Now, again, I'm of the age you could safely walk to school as a kid, and parents didn't worry as much.
I was too.
And
yeah, I walked.
If you were walking with your friends, did you ever play the game where you tried to avoid all the cracks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Step on a crack, break your mom's back.
Yep. Now, there is history behind this, actually.
Okay.
It comes from the Western culture, mostly the United States and the United Kingdom, which makes sense because they would probably brought it over with them when they came here. Now, the root is an older belief about cracks being a boundary between the realm of the living and the dead. It is thought that stepping on a crack is an invitation for a demon or negative energy to come out and harm your life.
Stepping on the crack. Okay. Didn't know that. Go on.
And now my last one, which you'll appreciate as well. As you know, I do acting. You've come and saw some of my shows, actually.
I have.
And you enjoy theater life as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the play Macbeth. The dreaded play Macbeth. We're not on stage, so we can say it.
Okay.
If we were in a theater, we're just in the studio.
Right.
This is different.
Yeah.
We're in the studio.
Can't say it.
Um,
It's like don't talk about Bruno. Don't talk about Macbeth.
On May 10th, 1849, in Manhattan, New York City, the Astor Opera House erupted into a riot that killed 25 and injured over 120. It was the first time a state militia had been called to put down a riot, and the first time that the police heard a shot, or the police had to shoot into a crowd of civilians. Why did the riot start? Well, Macbeth. Yep, it was all because the crowd had a spat over casting choices for the play.
Because that doesn't happen in theater ever.
No. The riot led to the creation of the first armed police force in the United States. The curse of Macbeth is often believed to be the cause of conflict. Weird, huh? Yeah.
Could you see that happening now?
No. I feel
no.
No.
You don't think people would be that mad over a casting choice?
Ooh, well, actually, like sequels, and there's a new person playing a main character.
Ooh.
Like my best example. I know I'm aging myself when I do this, but
probably.
Okay, the first live-action Ninja Turtles.
I'm sorry.
Okay, now April O'Neil
Okay.
was one actor, right?
Yeah.
Number 2 comes out, different actress.
Mm-hmm.
That is not the same person. Is not the same character.
So that's not okay by you?
That is not okay.
Okay.
Or I used to watch The Dukes of Hazzard.
Never saw it.
At one point, the two brothers were replaced by the cousins because of an actor strike. Those seasons we do not talk about. We do not talk about that. So,
I mean, but can you see in today's theater world people getting that angry over, like, I can see this happening in real life. Like, I can actually visualize people being mad about a casting choice because we see it now.
Oh yeah.
Maybe not to this level, but I can see it actually getting to that level if it were to not be stopped.
Yeah, possibly. Well, now what happens is it's on TV and the show just gets canceled because people just stop watching.
You can probably say us actors are a little dramatic.
Yeah. Just a little.
Yeah.
So now, to avoid saying it, you can call it the Scottish play. That is an option. Now, it is thought to bring bad luck or disaster. The origins come from the play's dark themes, such as, I don't know, maybe witchcraft. How about murder? Wait.
How is any of this dark?
How about betrayal, which is believed to invite negative energy or curses? To add fuel to this fire, it is thought that the early performances were plagued by accidents. So to explain why, I don't know, why a sandbag on holding up a curtain fell on somebody, I don't know.
The Phantom of the Opera, hello.
Yeah. So now there are some ways to undo this curse. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
One is when the name is accidentally said, right? The person must immediately spin around 3 times on the spot and then spit over their shoulder and say an obscenity.
Coming from a stage manager, you spit on my stage, we're going to have some problems.
But I think you would prefer they do that than bring a curse.
Don't be spitting on my stage.
Oh, gosh. Leave the theater with the person who accidentally said the name. walk around the theater 3 times, and again, spit over your left shoulder.
As long as it's not on my stage.
Or leave the theater, knock 3 times, be invited back inside by the rest of the cast or group, and say a line from Hamlet. Other lucky plays include The Merchant of Venice and A Midsummer Night's Dream.
You will be allowed back in if you didn't spit on my stage.
I wouldn't spit on your stage.
Would you say Macbeth? Or would you say the Macbeth?
Macbeth?
Macbeth.
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 Oh, so we're what I would say Scottish play.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say Scottish play.
Okay. All right, so we're not going to talk about the Scottish play anymore because you're still spitting on my stage, and I have a problem with that. So we're going to talk about some like common superstitions that you may have heard or even practiced yourself.
Yeah.
So we'll start kind of with the itchy hand. So ever have like a palm itch, like itchy hand, palm itch?
Right.
Yep. So like in Turkey, the itchy right hand means that you'll come into some money, while the itchy left hand means you'll lose out big time.
My right hand needs to start itching pretty soon.
Right.
Could really use an itchy right hand right now.
Yeah. I mean, we could actually do like we can do a study. Oh, wouldn't that be fun?
Okay, I'm listening.
Every time that our right hand itches, we should document that our right hand is itchy, and then like see if we come into money at any point, and see if we can like dispel this a little bit.
Okay, we could do that.
We can play the debunk game.
Yeah, we could.
We could. Yeah. All right, we're gonna practice this one. Another one is like don't open umbrellas inside.
Okay.
That is yet another one I follow without realizing it. It's a universal superstition and bad luck to open the umbrella before you head outside because bad luck will rain upon you. So this came from British in the 18th century when waterproof umbrellas were told to cause injury if opened inside the home.
Okay, so does this cover going inside and closing them when you get inside?
Well, I mean, you're coming from outside, going inside, you have to close it.
Okay.
I don't know. That's a good thought.
Yeah.
Why do you gotta like stump me? Like
I don't know.
What's going on here?
No, that's just what I do. It's what I do to you.
Throwing salt over your shoulder if you spill it.
Okay.
So if you have butterfingers, me, gravity works really well around me. It may seem that it would cause a bigger mess, but you throw the spilt salt over your shoulder to get good fortune on your side. And I feel like there's something to this because salt is used very often in different spells, right? Salt is protection.
Okay.
Something that we talk about when we're doing our paranormal investigations.
Yeah.
Having salt in doorways or things like that.
Okay.
So to spill salt accidentally is that maybe spilling your protection, and to get that protection back, you have to like throw it over your shoulder.
Interesting.
Just a thought.
It's an interesting thought.
Not to walk underneath ladders. So this superstition actually dates back to medieval Europe, where walking under the ladder symbolizes the gallows and death.
Okay.
Another meaning, the ladder propped up against something symbolizes the Holy Trinity, God the Father, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. So walking under the ladder is disturbing that Trinity, and bad luck follows.
Okay. So kind of like the clover does the hope, love, or hope, faith, and love.
Right.
Hmm.
And then you got the Holy Trinity, you're kind of walking and disturbing that Trinity.
All right.
I can see where that comes from.
Okay.
Full moons.
Teen Wolf is coming out?
Let me just say, a disclaimer. I have a full belief in the full moon and the energy that it provides. However, there are studies out there that show that a full moon has absolutely zero effect on what happens in your regular everyday life. Just saying. So scientifically, that has been debunked.
Can I call baloney?
I do. I think anyone that works in healthcare probably does too.
Okay. So then... Okay.
So, full moons, other than their obvious association with werewolves, sir,
What?
your teen wolf coming.
Teen Wolf.
It brings bad luck. Okay. I don't think full moons necessarily bring bad luck. Nurses, doctors, my fellow lab rats, radiologists, all them, you probably disagree with me because full moons are like insane. But I also believe it brings a whole different powerful energy source. So if you believe in the universe's power and the energies within our universe, you would actually not see the full moon as negative.
Okay.
So I don't see it as negative, but I will say if I'm on call that night, I'm a little scared.
Fair enough.
All right.
It is fair enough.
So black cats, bad luck. I'm going to say I disagree because I have a black cat.
I don't think they're bad luck.
I don't either, but in the Middle Ages, people believed that black cats were actually witches. And people thought that these cats could turn their owners into demons after 7 years.
And once again, this is lore that people have to explain bad things happening to them.
Right.
And black cats probably happen to just be around when it happened.
Exactly.
Like a placebo.
Nice. I love that circle you did. That was cute.
Went full circle.
Uh-huh.
And we didn't even finish yet.
Another superstition is bad things happen in threes.
That one I do believe.
I think I do too. I think. So in the United States, some people believe that some terrible things that happen to you will happen to you 2 more times. So to make sure to keep an eye out, so if something bad happens to you, expect 2 more instances of something bad happening to you. I don't know if bad things happen in threes, but I do believe more that like death happens in threes.
Okay. There have been many times where it seems your luck is down and 3 big events happen back to back to back that are negative.
Now,
and I've
to play the other side of it, the psychology side.
Okay.
Okay, like you just did to me.
Did I? I did? Oh, I don't remember this.
Do you think that the bad luck is happening back to back, mainly because you're already down and already feeling negative? So anything after that is just going to feel like you're being kicked when you're already down?
Maybe.
Just another
it's
thought.
Possible. It is possible.
All right, so another superstition, which is actually medically true.
Okay.
Just saying, don't kiss babies on the lips. So if you do, you'll curse your baby for a lifetime or get the baby sick because, healthcare. Just saying.
Oh, that's basically a healthcare one, really.
It really is, but it started off with you'll curse the baby for a lifetime.
Kind of like when you look at folktales for Christmas, like Krampus. How do you scare kids to be good? Tell them Krampus is going to come and punish them instead of bringing gifts.
Right. So this did have some truth to it, though.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you kiss the baby and say the baby would then be sick for a lifetime, or will curse the baby for a lifetime. I should say
Mm-hmm.
curse. Where in fact that maybe they did the kissing of the child and passed along some sort of virus or disease, and now this baby's sick for the life for a good portion of their life. And back in the olden days, like people didn't make it past
Mm-hmm.
infancy into
Okay.
adulthood for whatever reason, for all the diseases. So they were getting sick, but they were seeing it as a curse.
Okay.
So in today's society, we know not to kiss babies on the lips simply for the healthcare reasons, to
Right.
not pass along germs and things of that nature.
Okay.
So there's some truth behind that one.
Yeah.
It's just they saw the sickness as a curse.
Right.
Find a penny, pick it up.
Okay.
Can you finish it? Do you know all of it?
No, I do not
Find a
actually.
penny, pick it up. All day long, you'll have good luck.
Oh.
You know
Okay.
that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't remember it.
Okay. All right. So this little ditty may arise because of finding money is lucky in and itself, but it might be a spin-off of another old rhyme. See a pin, pick it up. All day long, you'll have good luck. See a pin, let it lay, and your luck will pass away.
That's a fun little rhyme.
It is.
That is a fun little rhyme. I like that one.
Now this one is from my childhood.
Yep.
So
I would agree.
I don't know if you did this, but the rabbit's foot.
Mm-hmm.
Does it bring good luck? I have no idea. However, these are a time honored way of fending off evil, considering the crosses and garlic are supposed to keep away vampires. Rabbit's feet are the talisman that go back to the Celtic tribes in Britain. Okay, so they may also arise from hoodoo, which is a form of African American folk magic and superstition that blends Native American, European, and African tradition.
Okay.
So there's some belief in the rabbit's foot being good luck that stems back centuries.
Okay.
But it was pretty big when I was growing up.
Yeah.
You saw them at all the gift shops and stuff like that.
I almost think it was a nice marketing thing just to
Right.
sell to people
And like the different colors, dyes that they made the fur and stuff like that.
you had to feel bad for that rabbit though.
I'm gonna believe that it was a rabbit that died of natural causes, and we're just using all parts of the body. Zip it. That's what I believe.
Placebo.
Another one is the 3 6s. So 3 6s in a row give people chills. It's like a superstition that harks back to the Bible. In the book of Revelation, 666 is given as the number of the beast and is interpreted as the mark of Satan and the sign of end of
A
times.
heavy metal band does a song about that. 666, the mark of the beast.
Who?
I can't remember the name of the band. It's a big name though. Just can't think of it now.
Oh, okay.
Like maybe Iron Maiden or somebody.
Okay. Cross your fingers. I've noticed this is one I do pretty often too.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you're saying like, "Oh, I hope this happens," and you kind of like do the cross the fingers. Yeah. So those wishing for luck will often cross one finger over the other in a gesture that dates back to early Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
The story goes that two people used to cross index fingers when making a wish, a symbol of support from a friend to the person making the wish.
Like, so kind of like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So the tradition gradually became something people could do on their own. Like just saying fingers crossed is enough to get the message.
Oh, all right. That
So
works.
I mean that I see that all the time in like social media, like, oh, and I hope you find them, fingers crossed, and stuff like that.
Okay. So it's turned into just saying it since we have social media.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm thinking that we should move on to Nick talking because I'm talking a lot.
Did you cover Friday the 13th?
We did earlier. I don't want to
Okay.
talk about it again.
All right.
But
So
we should go over some odd ones from other parts of the world because I think those are really cool.
okay. So like the one from chewing gum from Turkey. So in some parts of Turkey, you may want to think twice before whipping out a piece of chewing gum. There is a belief that if you are chewing gum at night, and I don't know why at night, it's bad luck. And it says here, though, in the source I found, that they say you may actually be chewing rotting dead flesh. I don't know how they get that.
Right, I don't understand that.
That
Instead
makes
of
no
chewing gum,
sense to me, but okay.
right?
It's That's their belief.
I mean, technically, you're chewing rubber.
Yeah, maybe it's the texture of. I don't know. People would.
I was say, like, did Ed Gein talk about this or Jeffrey Dahmer? Like, how do we know what dead flesh is supposed to? Is it chewy?
I don't know.
I'm not sure I want to find out either.
I don't know. I don't want to know.
Okay.
No, I'm good. The horseshoe. Some people believe hanging a horseshoe in the bedroom or on a doorknob with the ends pointing upwards will bring good luck and keep nightmares away. Now, this belief comes from the fact that a horseshoe has 7 holes. Now, which, of course, 7 is considered to be one of the lucky numbers. Also, the fact that it's made of iron, and iron supposedly, or is known, is thought to, ward off evil spirits that may haunt you in your dreams. Deadly opal. If your favorite stone is opal, well, you're not having any luck. Literally,
It used to
since
be my favorite stone, by the
this
way.
stone is said to bring bad luck to whoever wears it. This superstition comes from 1829, from the best-selling novel Annie of
Gearstein.
Gearstein by a Sir Walter Scott. I like how his name is Sir Walter Scott.
Sir.
Sir.
He was knighted. He's a sir.
Yeah. So in the novel, Lady Hermione,
You cool there?
yeah, was falsely accused of being a demon due to her sudden death after a drop of holy water accidentally falls on her opal jewelry and changes its color. The book had such an effect on the image of the opal that shortly after its publication, well, the opal market crashed and opal prices dropped by 50%.
Well, they sure brought that price back up because I love opals and they're kind of expensive now.
I hate to say it, but a lot of things are expensive now.
Right?
So, now, ringing of the bells. Have you ever wondered why bells are always associated with weddings, special occasions? Well, as it turns out, the association stems from the widely held belief that bells frighten evil spirits away. The belief originated during Queen Elizabeth, her reign, for 2 reasons: to ask for prayers for the departed souls and to drive away evil spirits who stood at the foot of the bed.
I'm thinking they meant probably Queen Elizabeth I then.
Yeah,
Because I'm pretty sure that's a pretty old one. So just to clarify, that's looking at Queen Elizabeth I's reign and not the second.
now old, new, and borrowed blue. The popular wedding tradition is said to have originated during the Victorian era. It involves giving the bride various gifts. One of the gifts is something old. Now, this represents continuity. Another is something new. This represents hope in the future. Third is borrowed, which symbolizes borrowed happiness, while the last is blue and is supposed to bring purity, love, and fidelity.
Hmm.
I don't know what to think of that one because my first marriage, I think we actually followed that tradition. Keyword first marriage.
I think I did too. You're right. Yeah.
Second marriage.
I got married in Vegas. So
Second marriage was just kind of a informal courthouse thing, and well, that didn't turn out good either. So either way,
it didn't
doing it or not doing it
didn't do anything.
didn't really do anything.
Right.
So I don't know if I believe in that one. But
I did it in my first marriage, and
Yeah.
that didn't work. And I got married in Vegas the second time, so I didn't do any of that.
It's not proven or disproven.
No.
Yeah. Unlucky smoking. Triad.
Okay.
From the Crimean War through World War I, it was considered bad luck among soldiers to light 3 cigarettes with 1 match.
Why would you light 3 cigarettes with 1 match?
I don't know how you could even light 3 cigarettes with 1 match, and how long it would burn to light 3 cigarettes with 1 match.
It would burn out before you did that.
I think you would burn your finger, and maybe that is why, but I don't think, but that's not what I found.
Okay.
So it was considered bad luck because it was the theory is that by the time the 3rd cigarette was lit, a sniper would have time to have the soldier in his sight, ready to make the kill. However, some believe that the superstition may have been invented by match tycoon Ivar Kruger to drum up more business. I think both could actually qualify, because if you use 1 match for 1 cigarette, you have to use 1 for each. But if you use 1 for 3, you're using less. So then they do sell less.
But thinking on the military side of things, which we both are.
Yep.
You're in a battlefield, you light a cigarette, and then you hold it out for the next person and the next person. That does give a sniper time to get you in their cross.
It does.
But so did your first light.
Knocking on wood.
Okay.
The one you brought up.
Yep.
Does actually have origins.
Okay.
The phrase has varied as cultures have used it. Some from Indo-European or Celtic beliefs believe that spirits, good and bad, reside in trees.
I could see that.
And by knocking, you can either be calling for protection or chasing away by knocking on their home. So if it's evil, when you knock, you're knocking it away. You're chasing it away.
Okay.
Linking the practice to the magical. This has also been linked to the practice, to the magical power of the wooden crucifix. So
that, I can see that making sense.
So with the wood, they also use the crucifix.
Okay.
So let's go to some weird superstitions you're going to find in other countries.
Ooh, that's fun for me.
Yeah.
Very, very fun for me. All right. So Germany. Let's talk about Germany.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Germany.
So you can't congratulate a person before their actual birthday. Okay. So this superstition goes back to the belief that demons can hear good wishes and consequently do their best to make them not come true. So even when it's midnight and you're finally allowed to congratulate your German friends, party-related danger still lurks around the corner. When you make a toast to them, you'll have to look everyone straight in the eyes when you clink glasses. This way you make sure that A, no one has poisoned your drink. Weird.
How would you tell by just looking at them?
Maybe the idea that they wouldn't meet you in the eye, or because the eyes are the window to the soul.
Okay.
I'm just thinking that way.
Okay.
And then B, your love life won't be ruined for the next 7 years. I
think I figured it out.
What?
That's That's been my problem. Been congratulated on my birthday too early.
Yeah. Okay.
Now I know why now I know why. It's not the something new,
No.
old, borrowed, and
No.
blue. Yeah, okay. By doing a birthday week before your birthday. Yeah, that's what it is.
Did I make a birthday toast to you this year for your birthday? I don't think I did.
No, not until we had dinner.
And I didn't even do a toast at dinner.
No.
So you should be safe now.
Yeah, I don't know how many bad years we're already on there yet.
All right. So in Poland, bags have no business being on the ground in Poland because it's believed that if you leave your bag unattended, money can easily jump out from there. The Polish have an interesting history of superstitions surrounding death and funerals. Some believe that if there's a death, you should bury the body before the next Sunday, or another death in the circle will soon follow. So that's 2 in 1 there for Poland. So if you know somebody in your family that dies, you have to bury them by the next Sunday, or there's another one coming.
Oh.
Okay? Or just don't leave your bag or purse or anything on the ground in Poland because your money could jump out.
Okay.
All right.
It could jump. So money just jumps out now?
Apparently.
Okay. Well, why don't we go to Japan?
Okay.
Where counting can be turned into a dangerous business pretty quickly in Japan. The number 4, for example, pronounced she, which also means death. I probably pronounced that totally incorrect.
It's like SHI. So like shy? Maybe?
Shy, she.
Okay.
I don't know how their syllables work. This is also why you should avoid gifts consisting of 4 things, such as 4 flowers, tableware, in sets of 4.
Sets of 4, yeah.
Often apartment buildings will skip the 4th floor, and apartment numbers containing 4. So they'll skip 4, 14, 24, 34. So if it has the 4 in there.
So it's almost like a even 13 because a lot of hotels don't have a 13th floor.
Right.
But they kind of go a little further, like 4, 14, like that's a lot.
And the number 9 is also almost as bad because pronounced ku or ku.
Right. Ku.
The same as the word for suffering.
So ku, if that's said right, is either 9 or suffering, and she or shy is 4 or death. Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now,
do they skip the age 4 then? That's interesting.
They skip 4. No, they do not skip the age 4, I wouldn't think. But it doesn't say what they do for number 9. So,
okay.
In Vietnam, skincare is almost spiritual.
Which I would believe, because have you seen the skin on a lot of people from Asian countries?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
And all of them age very well.
They do.
You should never sleep with makeup on your face, or demons think you're one of them.
Well, you should never sleep with makeup on your face to begin with, because that's another healthcare ritual, and it kind of clogs your pores and whatever. Okay. But nowhere in the commercials that we see for face cleansing material does it say that demons might think you're one of them.
This is in Vietnam, so.
Okay.
And actually, the old place I lived, there was a Hmong family upstairs, and they moved out saying that there were spirits there, and they were very superstitious about it, and they could not live there.
Interesting. Okay.
So they have a strong belief in that, to my knowledge. Also, it is best to avoid doing any chores on the Lunar New Year. Sweeping or cleaning on such an important day could wipe away any good fortune for your family.
That's kind of like the same superstition we have now with New Year's. and doing laundry on the first day of the year. I never
Hmm.
do laundry now on New Year's Day
Okay.
because it could be washing away any good fortune that was whisked in when you opened the front door that at
Hmm.
midnight.
Yep. So,
Also gives me a reason to not do any laundry that day.
how does that work?
It works great.
Okay.
It works absolutely wonderful.
All right. Well,
I don't do laundry on the first day of the year.
okay.
Ever.
Oh, well, this was quite interesting.
It was a fun talk.
Um, Join us next week, and we were going to talk actually about. Um, we're going to talk about some fun facts of dying.
Cremation version.
So, where did I put that book? I got to find it. So, we got this book here, and if you watched our intro kind of before we put this out, introing the season and kind of stuff we're going to do, this is, again, Will My Cat Eat My Eyeballs? And it just talks about questions about dying. And we are going to explore the world of cremation and its history.
That
So,
actually makes me very happy.
yes. So, be sure to like and subscribe. We are on Facebook.
Hmm.
And hope you join us next week.
Yeah.
And hope you like what you heard and learned something in the process.
And if you ever want to comment any of your superstitions and things that we didn't cover, or just correct some of our weird pronunciations that we
Mm-hmm.
may have gotten wrong, go ahead and go for it. We'd love to have some comments and some insight into what your superstitions could be.
And thank you for joining us.